What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today we're going to look at some of my favorite Peak devices. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on any questions that you have about the product I'm reviewing or anything you'd like to see in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. All right, so I'm trying to get some videos together to put into the Wallet Wars section. But before leading into some of the bigger videos like my favorite Peak wallets, everyday carry wallets, card to wallets, I wanted to go over some of my favorite Peak devices that I wouldn't consider wallets in the sense of your kind of generic idea of a wallet. So I've got a number of things here that I'm going to go over. We're going to talk about what they do, how they do it, and some price points, and we'll just see where it goes. So the first one I'm going to mention, this is a wallet, but the reason I'm putting it in this section of a Peak device is because it's not a Peak wallet. There are ways of obtaining a Peak, but I don't think that I would consider this a Peak wallet. It's just nice that there are ways to do it. So this is the Edge Wallet by TCC. So with this, you have a type of sight unseen feature. However, you are only going to get a very partial peak. So if you are familiar with the Acidus Novus peak, which I'm sure you are if you are a mentalist, then if you consider the peak area on that, that's what you're going to get with this wallet. So you may have just seen what I mean. But that's one option there. And then the other is that this is a card to wallet. If you load a business card in reverse, as you would with a standard card to wallet, then you can get a full peak with this. So that's really all I have to say. I just wanted to mention that one because I don't think it's going to end up in my peak wallet video, but I do think that it does work as a peak device. But with that said, if you are using that sight unseen feature, you're probably just better off to do a billet peak like the Acidus Novus, in my opinion. The other one that I'll just mention quick is the FPS Wallet by Brent Braun and the Magic Firm. Now, this is a card to wallet. This is considered one of the best card to wallets. A lot of people don't think of this as a peak wallet because it's not advertised as a peak wallet. But if you want to use this as a peak wallet, you would load it the same way as your card to wallet, and you're going to get a full peak that is similar with a lot of other peak wallets out there. So I did want to mention this. If you are using it as a peak wallet, then you do not want to use it as a card to wallet for the same group of people because the loading method is going to be the same. And if you're using that as a peak, then you're not going to want to use it as a card to wallet because they're going to understand exactly how the card to wallet went. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about Wallet by Nicholas Lawrence and Abstract Effects. Now, this wallet can do a lot of things. Uh, Main things kind of being switches, vanishes, transpositions. You know, you put something in here, it vanishes, ends up in a different location, but this can also be used as a peak wallet. I'm not going to say how because that would expose how this wallet works, and I don't want to do that. So with that said, you can obtain a peak, but you're going to get a partial peak. So probably like half of a business card or billet. But if you're using this wallet, if you're carrying it on you for other things, it's nice that it also has a feature in where you can use it to get a peak. Okay, next we're going to talk about the No Choice wallet, which does feature a peak. It's not it's not the easiest peak to get, and there are angle restrictions. However, it is very deceptive if you do it right, and you do get a full peak. The peak can be obtained right in front of your spectator, and it looks like you are doing nothing. So the handling on that, you would have to purchase this and check out the tutorial. But I'll just say you can get a full peak, and if your participant or your audience is in front of you, not to the side or the back, then you've got a really great peak that looks good to you and the people in front of you. These ones are intended to be peak wallets, but in my opinion, devices, because you wouldn't carry credit cards and stuff in this, and they don't look like wallets. But this one here is the JOL Peak Wallet, and then this one works exactly the same. This is the wallet from the How to Read Minds kit by Peter Turner, an illusionist. So basically, you take out a business card, you place the business card in, and with that, you can go back to get a card. You've got your peak, and the wallet goes away. So you kind of have to understand how these wallets work. I wouldn't favor these wallets. I use other wallets instead. Just thought I'd mention them because I have them. All right, let's get to the favorites. So this is the ultimate networking tool. You used to be able to pick this up for $10. Okay, now they've raised the price to $40. So I don't really feel like this is a better option than others like I used to. Because for $10, this thing is awesome. This thing is really good. You get a DVD with it that gives you routines, and then you also get a stack of business cards. I put my own in here, but if you're using the routine that is taught with this, then there's really, really good motivation for using the business cards that are provided. It's still, actually, I'm going to say it's still worth the $40. I just wouldn't buy multiples. Because the idea behind this being a peak wallet, I think that the teaching and the principles that they teach in ways to get other people's information. So the idea behind this being a networking tool is that the way that the cards are designed, as well as the peak being built in to kind of doing a routine so that they will remember the moment and the experience, it all kind of works together. So the way the business cards work is they're designed so that you'll get a call back, or you'll get their information so you can follow up with them, and then you get a really nice peak that's a jack style. Put the wallet away and you're good. So it does have a really nice peak. It's not made out of real leather, so the fact that this went up to $40 is unfortunate for people that are looking for a really cheap peak device to start out with. I do feel like $10, this was underpriced. So I could understand if they raised it to 20, but to jump up 4 times the original amount, that's, I think, a bit excessive. Anyway, that's the ultimate networking tool. Next, we have the Razer Wallet, which, if you've seen my video on the Shadow Wallet, the Shadow Wallet is probably still, after all the wallets that I've had and reviewed, I'd say the Shadow Wallet still sits as my top peak wallet. Now, I'm using other wallets right now, so that could change. I guess we'll see what happens when we get to the Wallet Wars peak video. But I use the Shadow Wallet for, I think it came out around 2 years ago, and I've been using it since. I've used it as my everyday carry up until just kind of switching over to the Orphic to give that a try. But this works the same. I do know people that carry this as an everyday wallet. For me, there's not enough storage. So really, you only have one working pocket. Some people might argue that, but you're going to be using one of the pockets for your peak. So for me, this doesn't have enough storage. However, this uses the same peak, which I think is an amazing peak. The motivation behind it is great, but I would use this more just in performance and to carry business cards. So I would call this a business card wallet, whereas with the Shadow Wallet, you have more slots for storage. You have a big pocket in there. You have your index. This is more of a wallet to me than this. But I love this. I love this. Next, you have the Sight Unseen case, or the SUC. So this is by Mark Strivings. You've probably heard of this. You probably use it. It's really good. I'm going to do a standalone review on this. Basically, this is the second version. So the first version, when you open it up, you had one slot on each side for cards. This one you have 2. So there are 4 working pockets plus your Sight Unseen feature. This is the original Sight Unseen, and I think it does it the best. So this is meant to carry business cards and look good. It's meant to be an elegant looking business card holder. And the leather on this is really, really nice. You can tell that it's a nice durable leather, but it's also extremely soft, and it's not firm. Like, it's not, I don't really know the word that I'm looking for, but it opens and closes really, really nice. So this I would highly recommend. I'm going to kind of go over the price of all the things that I've went over here in a moment. Next, we're going to get to my favorite peak device. This is the Lookout Wallet by Paul Carnazzo. Now again, I wouldn't call this a wallet in the sense of your general idea of a wallet. It does have multiple pockets. There's one here, there's one here. Neither of those interfere with your peak. If you open it up, there is another pocket, which I don't use as a working pocket because that's my motivation for going back to the wallet, which you don't need to do with this. You can get your peak without going back to the wallet, and that's one of the nice things with this. It has one of the most deceptive peaks. So depending on which way that you want to obtain your peak, I usually tend to go back to the wallet just because I'm used to the motivation of using the shadow wallet, and you kind of go back for the same reason with multiple wallets to get yourself a card. But the nice thing about this one, and the reason that I don't call this a regular wallet, I call this a business card wallet, is because it holds a ton of cards. And this isn't even the full amount that'll be in here. Like if you see at the bottom here, it's not stretched. There's still room to put more in. So I probably have about 40 business cards in here right now, and once the leather kind of stretches and softens, you can fit more. So some people use this to carry a deck of cards. It will do that. Some people say that it won't, but if you put the deck of cards in here, close it and wrap it with an elastic, that's going to allow the leather to kind of take shape, and then, throw it in your pocket, carry it around for a while, and it'll break in. So it will carry a full deck of cards, or it will carry 40 to 50 business cards. It does have a number of working pockets, and then it's one peak, but you can obtain it two ways, one of which you go back to the wallet, the other of which you don't. Basically, get your peak just like this and not have to go back to the wallet. So it's really good in that sense. I believe that this is discontinued. I have spoken with Paul asking if, because I originally was going to do a full review on this, but when I seen it was discontinued, I thought, well, I don't know if there's a point in me doing a review on a wallet that people can't get anymore. So I decided not to do the standalone review, but after speaking with Paul, down the road, there may be a Lookout Wallet 2.0. That's not confirmed. I have no idea. And Paul has said that in open forum, so I'm not saying anything that should be a secret. That's the Lookout Wallet. That is my favorite peak device. Now, just to go over, if I remember off the top of my head, I already mentioned that this was $10. It went up to $40. I think they're going to see less sales now, so they could lower the price in the future. I think the Razer Wallet is $40. I do have one on the way that is made out of genuine leather. That one is $60. This one is vegan leather. The SUC, I think the first generation with the two pockets, I think is 60 or 65, where this one is 70 or 75. At first, I felt like this was a little bit overpriced just because it is so basic. Like there's really nothing to it. But after using it and kind of understanding all the capabilities that this has, and hearing other people's thoughts and routines, it is really good. And I would use this in areas that I wouldn't use other wallets. So if you just want a really, really nice business card kind of wallet, then this is definitely worth it, and the quality is there. I'd say the leather on this and just the way that it feels is better than pretty much, well, most wallets that you're going to get. The No Choice wallet, I think, is $60. There are a lot of other things you can do with this wallet. I have done a full review if you want to check that out. This one I think is $40. The Edge wallet is really cheap. It's like $20. I think the FPS wallet is 60 or 70. Again, like these ones aren't branded as peak wallets, but I did mention them, so I thought I would mention the price. These ones here, I forget what they cost. Honestly, they're not bad. I just think any of the other ones I mentioned are better in my opinion. So they're okay to have if they're your only option. With Peak devices and Peak wallets, and I will mention this again down the road, I don't think there's a best, right? I think the more that you use a Peak wallet or device, or even a Peak technique, I think the more that you use a Peak technique or a Peak device or a Peak wallet, and the more comfortable and consistent that you are with it, that's what counts. It's what works for you is the best. So with that said, the Lookout wallet was $50. I did see somebody had purchased one of these a couple weeks ago from a third party source. They are still out there. You might be able to pick them up brand new some places or secondhand. If you can get one of these, I would highly recommend it. I've used this since I got it, probably about a year now, and for holding business cards, you cannot find a better device. I think that's all I got for the Peak devices that I have and that I use. I'm sure that I have other devices that I'm not thinking of. This is what I have on hand right now. I don't want this to run on for too long, so I hope that you got something out of that. That is again just my opinion on what I have, and we'll see you at the next video.